Welcome back, crew, to session 4 of Pandemonium. To do a little recap, the crew just kind of set forth on their latest adventure. After kind of interacting with the refugees in Eteria, finding this camp that had been filled with people that were trying to lead the empire that's on its way towards a civil war, the group was able to kind of help them out in a number of ways. The major one being the camp came under attack by a group known as the Reclaimers, sending these undead warriors to come and steal souls from those within the camp and kidnapping a poor child named Olu and trying to take him away, being the only one that was taken back to the Reclaimer camp. And you later found that out that was due to him having divine blood, being son of the god of thunder, Sanda. With that, though, you guys were able to rescue him, as well as make your way to the Reclaimer camp, where you found a soul crystal within, where it looked like the Reclaimers were trying to siphon these souls into the crystal and use it for some type of magic, but you weren't able to find out what. You weren't even question the Reclaimers because before they even brought the child back, the crystal they were using to siphon these souls exploded, outright killing one of the Reclaimers and transforming the other into an undead wight. The group was able to defeat these men, and afterwards kind of had to think about what they wanted to do next. Within the Reclaimer camp, they found the locations or the general vicinity of where the other two groups of Reclaimers were operating out of. All three being operating along the River Rhea and kind of attacking unsuspecting travelers and small settlements. They also found that they probably would need some allies because the Gavels have, we'll say, taken another adventure, taken a mission outside of the Arbiters, some say deserted, and have made their way into this nation and kind of don't have the best reputation right now because Squad 7 of the High Arbiters group has made their way to both capitals of Eteria, letting them know that they are the official representatives and the Gavels are deserters. So the group, after making a partnership with Velnu, a priest of Corinius, the god of commerce, decided that they needed strong allies and sought out General Thrax, a dragonborn general of Clan Thanza, known for his taciturn nature and taciturn but honorable nature, known to be stubborn to a fault, but will really popular with the people. Even if he's not popular with the nobility. So the group decided to make their way out there and to kind of sweeten the pot and buy their way in. They only knew of a group of deserters that had deserted the Tarian legions and provided their location and said that bringing them an offering of either them alive or their heads could be a good way to, if not get into the general's good graces, at least get into the general's presence. So the group found these three deserters and made pretty quick work of them, taking them down and capturing them alive, bringing them with them to the general's camp. That's where we're going to pick up now. Well, actually, before we pick up there, we realized last session we forgot to do the faction round for the crew. So with this cruise, we're using some of the leadership rules from Pathfinder2e, as well as some homebrew stuff I'm throwing in myself. But the faction during the downtime is going to get around where they can recruit people, try to boost their reputation, all those things and beyond. And I think the group decided that you guys wanted to try to boost your reputation using that week. Kind of what are you guys thinking for that side? And how are you going about trying to spread the word of the Gavels?
I mean, you could just say that Will's trying to do what he does best. I believe the words I used last time were glad handing. I can't remember the other word I used. Schmoozing. Making friends wherever I can. And whenever I do, speaking glowingly of our organization.
What type of tales would Will spread, and how would he go about it? How does Will spread the good news?
I think I might portray us as a sort of formidable kind of light. I would want to make us seem perhaps a bit imposing, but always on the side of the people, the people of Eteria, the people of the world, honestly, and not particularly interested in, power and prestige and all that. Just doing what we believe is right, which is the truth. Just perhaps, I'm making sure everybody knows it.
Perfect. And with that too, so with the faction round, each time we do one of these, 3 of the party will get a chance to make a check to see how this goes. So Will, it sounds like you are taking that first check. Give me a diplomacy check. See how Will can hobnob or glad hand his way into spreading the good word.
All right, I believe in myself.
Kicking it off strong.
Hey, I'm the greatest.
Yeah, so you get a success there. So yeah, you go through Will, you like between like the taverns, the gathering spots, probably and Will, do you kind of gather to more like the high class, low class, or does Will kind of go where the people are?
I imagine most of the places that this is happening is like just wherever we happen to be able to stop, because it took us 4 days to get across to where we're trying to go. So like wherever we're stopping, just like in the taverns, in the inns, in wherever we happen to be staying, I'm sort of singing the praises of our little organization. Maybe sometimes pretending not to be a part of that organization. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, have y'all heard about this interesting new group that's been roaming across the countryside? Like that kind of thing. But yeah, I think Will would probably best fit in with like the, nobles folk, but I don't think that he has quite the reach yet for that. So for now, it's just wherever we happen to be.
As you guys make your way through, Will, you're able to take the taverns, the gathering spots, the watering holes and wells by storm, telling you about the fearsome yet noble gavels, and just getting people enraptured in your stories, sometimes posing as one of them, sometimes just you shouting out their glories from the crowd, just really getting that hype going. And I think that's going to be a consistent theme for the gavels. Belric started you guys' own chant last time, and now Will's in the crowd hyping the group up. But this time you guys really get some good leading with it. The crowds are kind of enraptured, eager for more news, and happy that in these turbulent times, there's one other hero or one group of heroes stepping in. So you guys have 1 success out of the 3. What does anybody else want to do? And with these 2, so 3 people will get to roll the main success, but if one of the other 2 or the 2 other people wanted to aid in one of the checks, you're more than able to. But yeah, what are you guys thinking?
G will make use of the fact that he's at home now, and he's at a place where the religion that he's been trained with is allied with the people, and so he will go around giving blessings if anyone needs anything officiated. He can't really put magic into those kind of ceremonies yet, but he has the basic training, and so he will offer to provide services of a cleric of Nar.
Perfect. Give me a religion check as you kind of go through spreading the teachings of Nar, the god of fire, blessing ceremonies, putting the spirit of fire within these people. Oh, nice, man. Yeah, kicking it off strong. Like, you are home, you are in Eteria. Eteria, Nar is the prime god. Nar and Than are the prime gods for Eteria. You are back on your home turf. Nar is an active god. His followers, his clerics are well loved. You definitely get so many people coming up to you for just the simplest of prayers and blessings. You're able to officiate a wedding, and all throughout all this, your newfound gavel. I feel like you're sporting a new gavel gear too,
yes.
Right?
yeah. It's a gavel on fire, and very small in the background. If you really squint, there's also a scales, the arbiter scales.
People are going nuts for it. Like you even like hear some people that go, I thought they were deserters, but there's a following Nar, they couldn't be deserters. And just kind of like starting to turn that around. So actually with that, you do get your 3 successes already because a crit gets 2. But does anybody want to do the 3rd one just for fun?
This wedding brought to you by the Gavel of Evasara.
Will's in the crowd just hyping up the gavels in the way.
I think Wisteria would probably spend a little bit of spare coin on some paper and ink and start creating just like flyers talking about the gavel and their accomplishments with the refugees, and just sort of spread the word that, like, the gavel is in the area, and when the gavel's around, you have nothing to worry about. And a lot of writing down things that Will said, but putting it on paper and then distributing that paper at like taverns and inns, or posting it up on places, things like that, just so that the name starts to get spread and associated with helping out people. Probably mostly emphasize how we defeated the undead that were attacking.
Perfect.
Mockery would like to assist with this, providing little images and sketches to go along with these flyers, to go along with these descriptions.
Nice.
I like to imagine like her first draft or two is just text, because that's what she would prefer to have, and then like you just start like scribbling, and she looks over and it's like, oh yes, we should put that on there. That's a pretty good job. And then we kind of combine it for the final draft.
Perfect. Mockery, I'll performance. I'm gonna roll that for you to make it a little easier. Performance. Do you have any other skill that you think would fit there? I think performance would be the best fit.
I can't remember if Mockery is actually skilled in performance yet or not.
Unfortunately, you're
but
not.
I feel like performance. Yeah, performance would. Wait, can he roll a skill he's not proficient in to assist?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, then performance.
All right. For this, oh, never mind.
Oh, sorry, I think that one. In combat, you've got Mockery, but for this one,
All right.
and you got a nat 20 too. So
Oh God, we're so famous.
Mockery apparently a bit of an artist.
So, Mockery, what type of amazing drawings do you add to this? Like, what do you like?
Basically, this is a peek right into Mockery's mind of how he views each of the members of the Gavel. He draws them as like these illustrious champions of order, bringing out the basically what he sees the best in them. He would have drawn Mysterio surrounded by knowledge and books. He would have drawn Jeet right, kind of like haloed by what Mockery believes the mountain of Nar would look like, the volcano. He, of course, does not know exactly what that looks like, but it's what he thinks it is. Bear and Beleric together out in the woods, and Wheel surrounded by people, making them smile and laugh. Mockery would draw himself looking not really different, and he wouldn't portray himself in any specific light, simply what he looks like.
Okay. With those kind of illustrious drawings on that side, Wisteria, I believe you get a +2 to your roll on this piece. So give us a society check. What's that?
A pack hunter. I forget exactly what it does off the top of my head, but it does help with assist.
Oh yeah, you do have that. Let me pull that up real quick. So you're talking how does it pack? You gain a. Oh well. So unfortunately, it didn't really. Actually, does it? Nope, it just doesn't. Just slight of missing that one too. Actually, no, you're. Nope. So yeah. So what it does is gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to your checks to aid, and your allies get a +2 circumstance check to bonuses to aid you. You nat 20. That's you already got a crit success. So doesn't do too much for you, but 25 is always better than 23.
I'll take it.
With that, Wisteria, with kind of drawing, not drawing, kind of writing your letters, kind of going through, detailing the party's victory over the vicious reclaimers. Give us a society check to see kind of how well that message lands with the people of Eteria.
Alrighty.
Nice success. Yeah, so you kind of distribute those along for those who may not like to hear the news from Will. You're able to give these out and pass these to some of the local newsmakers and kind of bards and town criers, so they kind of know the deeds of the Gavel. And you guys, ace this side, earning some renown for the Gavel, or for kind of you guys have had bad, or well, you have a little bit of bad press because a lot of people view you as deserters from the Arbiters, but now you're kind of countering that with some good deeds you've done. If I can talk, aiding that with some of the good deeds you've done, showing how you guys have stepped in where others may have ignored the plight of the refugees. You guys dove in head first, not only saving the refugees, but saving a young child as well and defeating the Reclaimers. When even some of the guards of Arga, the city, had just turned their backs on and protected their own folks. So you guys start small reputation and still kind of balanced out by some of the negative out there, but starting to build. But with that, you guys
forward to. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I'm looking forward to whenever we have wanted posters and they just steal the flyer pictures for each of us.
Everybody likes the same time. With that, too, you guys are able to make your way to the general's encampment, and as you arrive, you see this sprawling encampment, and kind of coming into the more observant of you guys, you guys are spotted like so many times as you come through. You see that this is a well-operated military encampment. You see numerous dragonborns, kobolds, lizard folks, humans, sporting the black and silver kind of armor and clothing of the legions, most of them bearing the symbol of the 13th, which is General Thrax's own legion, but some of them kind of and probably surprising you, Jeet, most of all, you see some bearing the 2nd Legion, some bearing the 5th Legion, and one of the things as you guys approach and you're kind of spotted by some of the sentries, nobody really kind of moves to stop you as you guys are kind of heading towards the gate, or the public facing gate of the encampment, but you are kind of watched as you go through, but you do see this gate, and you see kind of like sprawling number of like on one side, like Tyrian legionnaires, all of these ones bearing the 13th, but you do see kind of at the gate a steady stream of people going through, and some of the people coming up to it are bearing Tyrian Legion armor, but you'll see like a lot of them will have like the 5th or the 2nd or even the 10th on their kind of their patches, their tattoos, their numbering, indicating what legion they support, and they're kind of being processed through. But you also see like merchants as well as camp followers, like all of these kind of in line at the gate, trying to make their way within. And kind of in tow with you guys as well, you've got your 3 prisoners that you were able to take captive, and you see the blue kobold as he looks up, and kind of like he looks up, and because you guys never told him who you're taking him to, you just told him you're taking him to the Etarians. As he sees like all of these 13th legions, you see like he starts to like eyes start to get a little twitchy, and he goes, "You're not taking us to Thrax, right? Not Thrax, somebody else, right? Right?"
Oh, it must have slipped our mind. Yes, that's exactly who you're being taken to.
You see his jaw kind of falls, or snout falls, and he goes, "Not Thrax. We can make a deal, right? How about the Loyalist or the Imperialist? Somebody else."
It may have slipped Mockery's mind, but not mine. I could have mentioned that we were coming to Thrax, but I had no reason to share information with a head that'll soon be departed from its body.
You see it at that, his snout was already low. Like he looks up, like for a moment, defiance in his eyes, and then he just hangs his head. The pyromancer though is still just walking along, smiling. He is just. You hear him go, "Maybe they'll let me burn. I'd rather burn than have my head." And you see the lizard folk, the one that dueled Mockery last time, the one that was the cowardly lizard folk, we'll say in this one. He is just tail on the ground, going, "I gotta go. I can buy my way out. We can go up. I can join. I can be a gavel, right? We can just don't let me go here."
When he says "I can be a gavel," Mockery does actually turn his head to listen to him for a moment, and if just to hear if he says the right things, you'll even ask,
Oh, what do the gavels represent? Actually, furthermore, what's the full name of the gavels?
The gavels of arbiters?
And Mockery, he would just shake his head like,
You do not get it.
As you gotta see, he just hangs his head low. And as you guys get closer, you see kind of the people being evaluated as they come in. You see like this dragonborn silver scales with like this heavy metal shield and a spear, kind of like not interrogating people, but he is briskly asking information with his gravelly voice, trying to kind of figure out what people are doing there. And you see, like, as they go through, especially the people that are from the Etarian legions, like they get like almost interrogated. Like they get pressed pretty hard. Some of them are let in, some of them are turned away as they try to make their way into the legion's camp. And eventually you guys do make your way to this grizzled silver dragonborn, and he goes and kind of looks at you guys and kind of like turns his nose up, especially as he sees you guys bringing 3 men in manacles, bearing the kind of the standards of the Legion, and he goes, "State your business."
Well, my friend, it appears that we came across a group of criminals that we thought it best to bring back to you personally.
Kind of looks at him. What is their crime?
Desertion.
He spits. Deserters, may Thana take them all.
Well,
How did
also
you find
significant amount of thievery. They took a significant amount of supplies when they were leaving. That's yes, that is in addition to the desertion. They were thieves.
You see with that, like he like leans forward with his shield and kind of smacks it into the lizard folk, knocking him to the ground, and he goes, "You sullied yourself with desertion. You added to it with thievery. The general will be delighted to see you."
If I may have permission to speak, sir.
Speak.
This one just knocked to the ground. He tried to cower his way out of a duel. I know that is not specifically a crime, but it is less than honorable. I thought I'd make a point of that, since I was the one dueling him.
and Mockery, as he's saying this, would never meet this guy's eyes. He'd always have his eyes lowered.
They just piss on the standard of the Legion. I assume you want coin for this. Well, anybody that's trained in society, I can't remember if you're trained or not, but even if you're not, roll with a +3 circumstance bonus.
You said anyone trained in society could roll.
Anyone trained in society can roll as well.
Probably should have made
I
that
was just
secret. My bad.
Mockery's face, like, I assume you want coin. He obviously have the look on, like, we get paid for this? Like, looking over to its area.
Actually, all three of you, Jeet, and Wisteria especially too. Jeet, you grew up here. You know that the Etarians are really honor-bound culture, hierarchical nature. If you take the coin, they're going to look down on you. They're going to see you as a bounty hunter. They're going to basically see you as somebody trying to curry favor. In Wisteria, you get that as well. And you know that, especially trying to see the general and trying to not only see the general, but try to get the general on your side, taking the coin probably may not stop you from that, but it's going to make it an uphill battle for you.
Well, Will was just about to say, well, actually, not looking for coin, just perhaps an audience with the general himself.
You got to see his snout, kind of his scales and snout mix into both like a mixture of somewhat respect as well as curiosity. He goes, "What business have you with the general?"
Hey, everybody. It's been far too long since our last session, and I have forgotten what our business with the general is.
Well, we don't. I don't think we want to tell him the full details. But Jeet will say, "We have heard that the general is trying to resolve problems that afflict the common people of Bateria, and we wish to see if we can ally ourselves with him to do the same."
You see, he nods and goes, "Who should I tell the general is calling?"
I look at the lizard folk on the ground and look back and say, "The gavel of Ivacera."
You see, like he bares his fang for just a quick second. That lizard folk before like quickly shutting his mouth and like not looking down, trying to avoid eye contact. But you do see the silver scale soldier go. Understood. You can come into the camp. Wait. Actually, soldier. And you see kind of this younger, kind of green scale dragonborn come trotting forward. It goes, lead them to the general's encampment. Speak with Arlox. Let them know that the gavels of Acera have arrived and wish to speak with them, bringing, and you see him spit again, cowardly thieving deserters. Tell the men they'll see a show tonight as well. And you see him kind of like wave you guys through. You see this green kind of this guy is the dragonborn that comes through. The soldier is clearly younger, probably 18 at the oldest, and he kind of like he's got a shield. He's got like a little spear too, but definitely kind of smaller statue. And he kind of like this way. It kind of just ushers you guys through this encampment where you see he's green and green. As you guys see through this encampment, you see like armies training. You see these dragonborn, these kobolds, these humans, these lizard folk kind of running through drills. Some of them martial, where you kind of see them kind of carrying the Tyrion's 3 favored weapons: your shield, your spear, and a lot of them. Where the officers have katanas strapped to their side, some of the others have like scimitars and other weapons like that. But you see them running through their drills. The Tyrians favor heavy infantry with kind of like a phalanx style approach. But you also see some corners where they're kind of the more magic-oriented folk are training, kind of preparing their spells, kind of gathering their arcane energies, drilling it so they're working in ruthless efficiency with their cohorts and their other legionnaires. But eventually you're brought to this tent. And while it's a bigger tent than the rest, it looks to be kind of like it's not adorned. It's not like if it wasn't bigger, you wouldn't know it was a command tent. And Wisteria, I think you were saying something too.
Yeah, as we're kind of walking through this camp, I'd like to throw down an eye for numbers to try to get a sense of the power of this army. I guess specifically what I'm trying to figure out is like what percentage of the Atarian army as a whole is under Thrax right now. Like how does this compare to the other forces? And if you want me to throw down some like society checks in there as well, or
no, I'll give you that society check you rolled earlier with the 28. So you'll know that the average Atarian legion is about 10,000 strong. There's about 15 legions that are kind of operate throughout Ataria, along with, and these are kind of more like their prime forces. But they also do sometimes recruit peasants and all that too to aid in their army when they need to have a larger army. But there's 15 core legions. Looking through here, and you kind of only get like getting a grasp of it, but you can clearly tell that this is over 10,000. He is stronger he has more forces than he should under his command right now, especially kind of aligning with seeing some of the other legions markings. Some of these people, like especially on the inside of the camp, you see that some of them have like put down a 13th bandana around their original armor markings, or covered up some of their tattoos with 13th in there as well. But you can still see some of the markings of the other legions poking through. You can surmise that whether through recruitment or just opening his doors, he's co-opted some of the other legions.
Do I see any like high-ranking officers from other legions, or any that like would indicate more of a alliance as opposed to like maybe a few people jumping ship from one legion from the other?
Actually, I'll keep that same 28. Yeah, you don't see. It's mostly kind of rank and file. You don't see any of the officers. It looks like people that may have even deserted to his cause.
Interesting. Keep that in mind.
But as you guys
on the way there, oh, sorry. On the way there, Mockery will be trying to start up small conversations with this soldier that is leading us there. Never quite meeting his eye, but asking how long you've been trained here. Do you have any stories? Are there any battles you've been in? Who have you trained with? Are you an excellent warrior? What is your honor system? That kind of deal. Just trying to strike up conversation and learn who this is. His very first question, I would say, though, is what is your name?
Yeah, you kind of see. Actually, I'm gonna give. So, I'm gonna have you roll a diplomacy check. Because you try to first speak to him. He's trying to keep like this. He's young. He's moving. Like he's trying to like almost slow his pace down. Like when he first ran up to you guys, you saw he had like an eager bounce to his step. But he's trying to like keep almost a stoic facade as he leads you guys do. As almost he's operating on this general's business. So I'm gonna have you roll a diplomacy check there to see kind of if you could have cracked that, because he ignores you initially at first as you go through. Where is that at? Roll one. So you got a 20 there. So you see, like initially at first, like he tries to avoid your comments, but as you go through, you see like this stoic facade that the Green Dragonborn's trying to bring about or trying to adopt cracks. And he goes, "My name is Morlox. I am new to the. You guys see, like he stands a little taller. I'm new to the 13th Legion. The general is just taking me into his service. I don't have any great battles to my name, but I'm going to fight for the people of Eteria under the great general."
Can I get that name one more time?
Morlox. So Morlox.
Were you in another legion before?
You see, he shakes his head and goes, "No, serve proudly with the 13th since the day I joined."
Why did you choose to join?
And he kind of looks and kind of notices like your symbol of Nar and all of that. And he goes, "Best way to honor my clan, honor my family, and serve the Empire. My people are poor. We don't have not many options for me. I did not feel like living a merchant's life." So
I should have been a little more clear. Why did you choose to join the 13th?
Oh, and you kind of see like his scales ripple and he kind of actually breaks it. His snout breaks into a smile. The general, stern but honorable. He doesn't play the games of the nobles. He fights for what the Empire needs. He served the Emperor honorably. But with no Emperor, he put the people first.
We have come to the right person then. Thank you for making this clear to us. We've heard rumors, but it is good to hear it from a direct source, such as yourself, someone who served him. Thank you. Mockery.
And Mockery would extend his hand and meet his eyes for the first time.
You see he meets his eyes. He kind of gives you like he's trying to keep that stoic, but definitely has like a cheerful nod, and he goes, "Well met, Mockery. Hopefully we'll all find glory today." But as you see, he says "flying glory." You kind of hear a commotion at the tent, and you hear yelling, and it's not like an attack yelling. This is an argument yelling. You hear yelling, and you see storming out of the tent this silver dragonborn in like these ornate robes. Jeet, automatically you recognize like the symbol on his chest as being from Clan Sonoro, the allies of Clan Abe, and you see him coming through, and he yells back at the tent. And this is it. Actually, he yells back in Draconic as well. So I forgot. I know Jeet. I think Wisteria. You both speak Draconic, and I'm not sure if anybody else does, but you guys get filled in later. But he shouts out this, like, just, "Excellent, General. You should always heard you will not take in deserters, but you take in our legion's deserters." He spits. He goes, "Dishonorable runt. Clan Thanza should have drowned you in your crib. He goes off on that side, and you see like this kind of like almost like not pushing him out, but kind of like taking steps along with him, like escorting him out is probably the best way to put it. You see like this pretty like he's thin but tall and imposing. You see the silver dragonborn in like these kind of blackish robes with kind of some armored pauldrons, kind of escorting him out, and kind of reply back at Draconic. Yes, I know. Dishonorable, yes. All right. Leave now. The general has made his choice. Your legions will stay with us. Keep them better if you want to keep them. And he just kind of points towards the gate.
Can we just acknowledge how hard that line was of your clan should have drowned you in your crib? God damn.
You see like the silver dragonborn of Clan Sotoro, like he is flustered as he comes out. Like two ranks of silver dragonborns come and kind of like flank him, and he is like steamed as he comes through, and he looks kind of rushes past you and looks at you guys, kind of like gives you kind of a weird look as he starts walking past. Like he doesn't stop to speak, but he kind of eyes you guys up and down as he kind of walks past you. Or actually, as he walks away from you. Do you guys do anything, or what do you guys do?
G turns his face away from Silver Dragonborn and just goes to check the pyromaniac to make sure that he's still good and the rope hasn't burned. But he is trying to avoid being noticed by the Silver Dragon.
Is he wearing any kind of insignia that would indicate his rank?
Oh, it was a safe society. So he is like, it doesn't indicate his rank per se. He doesn't actually, I should say, he doesn't look like he's in the military. Definitely by his clothing, he's got nice ornate robes. Like he's a silver dragonborn. He's got like these blackish silver, very ornate robes with kind of the clan Sonoro symbol across them. He's got like this intricate like silver chain, that kind of like a blackish silver chain that kind of clashes really well with his scales. He looks like a noble. He's definitely not somebody that's serving in the military, but he looks like a nobleman, maybe a diplomat, but definitely somebody that came from kind of high birth.
All right, and that is the guy who was ushering the other person away, correct?
Oh, that was the guy that was getting ushered out. Kind of
okay.
talking shit as he left.
Got it. I think I would just let him go. I'm just like, oh, awkward.
Mockery would be looking away as well. He does not want to meet the eyes of that man, just looking down at the ground, straight down. Tail included.
Morlock follows. Like he was actually doing the same thing before you guys even started. He looked down, kept pressing forward, but did not meet the nobleman's eyes, or trying to kind of get into it at all, I should say. But as you guys are kind of escorted through, you do see kind of this black scale dragonborn with kind of the armor, it was one kind of pushing or escorting the other guy out, and he looks at you guys and goes, "More visitors. What business have you with the general?"
Morlocks here will confirm that we are bringing back some of your deserters, and we wish to address the general in person.
You're not going to drown him in his crib, are you?
I hadn't planned
here in the desert with what water?
You see, like he laughs. It's kind of almost like hissing, like a little laugh. He goes, "Well, you can't be worse than the last one. Right this way." And you see Morlock kind of like he kind of wraps his spear over his right breast, and he goes, "Commander," and he kind of bows and starts heading back, and you get to follow this dragonborn in through the tent, and eventually you were brought into this tent. It's not like you see like tables everywhere, candles around, but a lot of the tables are carrying like maps. You see like logistics books. You see like the one thing that looks like it is like prize. Like most of this is like pure utilitarian. Like it's a bedroll, tables, chairs, logistics information. But the one thing you kind of see hanging from the top of the tent, or kind of at the back and the top of the tent mounted, you do see kind of like this heavy shield with kind of the green, the emerald dragon of Clan Thanza upon it. And you see a spear crossed with it. And you see the spear well polished, well maintained, black wood. But beneath them both, you see the general himself. And the general is an emerald scaled dragonborn. Like the scales are like bright emerald. Like I'm not glowing, but definitely catch the light and can feel like they've got a little bit of a glow to them. He's got like this silvery green armor with an emerald in the center of it. You see his eyes even have like a greenish hue as well. He's was initially, before you guys came, you could tell like he was mid-pace, but he turns and like kind of stands to his full height as you guys come through, and you see the commander gesture kind of wrapped across his chest and goes, "More visitors for you, General." And he goes, "These ones should be more agreeable than the last, hopefully."
Mockery will actually do something immediately once the general turns to the party. He's going to be going on his knees and doing a bow. Full-on vassal bow, too, with his head lowered as well.
All right. We'll have you roll another diplomacy check there.
Oh, heck yeah.
While he's doing that, Will would not bow quite as deeply, but certainly would give a sort of like noble bow, the kind that's used in a greeting with respect.
As you guys come through, the general does kind of turn and kind of meet your gazes, and like you see like surprise initially, like 'cause he kind of accepts Will's like kind of like a noble's bow. It kind of like surprise, a little bit of mockeries comes through, and you kind of see he goes, "Oh, rise. You do not need to bow so low yet, but why have you come?" And you guys seeing the three men in chains you guys bring behind you. What are these?
Jeet will open with just the traditional formal greeting to a superior. So whatever the exact terms are, greetings, Nar's blessing and greetings to you, General Thrax. We come to seek an audience with you for what we have heard about you, and as a sign of our good faith, we have brought some folks that we found out had deserted your legion.
You see he kind of nods at that. He kind of looks at your symbol and goes, "You're a priest of Nar. What is your name?"
Jeet. Abe. The last part hesitantly.
You see his kind of his snout ripples into not a smile, but a smirk, and he goes, "There's a diplomat running that way if you want to go catch up with your family."
He looks down on the ground as if like a little bit ashamed, and then looks up and says, "Perhaps another day. For today, we are here for you because you are, as we have heard, doing what is more important." Excuse me, I think my companions can speak better on this than I. And he'll stay standing like ahead, but he will look towards Will or Visteria to someone to join him and explain the situation.
And he kind of holds his hand up, goes, "Before we speak business," and you see he turns like his full attention to the three deserters, and he goes, While still like staring daggers at them, he asks the group, "Deserters, do you have any words to say of them? Good, bad, otherwise?"
The fire one misuses fire and dishonors Nar. He is not of sound mind. I would not trust him.
If I may, may I have permission to speak?
Speak.
The Fire One too is a follower of Shinzo Z, and I would be wary with him, even during the execution. Sometimes his followers have been known to explode, and this one here, with its fascination for fire.
And Mockery kind of gives that guy a side eye, like a worried side eye.
Yo, is that true? That's hilarious. They explode when they die? Sorry.
Campaign 1 for Kazuya, Shinzo Z did have people that have some of his cult become suicide bombers. So,
Okay.
it's not unusual for his followers and for the god of chaos and deception.
Yep. So Mockery kind of gives that clear, and whether it's a good idea or not, he still does it. He'll tap on one of his holy symbols, the one for Shinjo, to kind of indicate his knowledge on the fact that this is not just a random fear, even though it is in part a random fear.
With that, because Shinzo is displayed, do you have your other 3 displayed as well?
He's other 4. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You see, he looks at the one of Shinzo, not with appreciation, but not with disgust. But seeing like the other ones, especially when he sees Pestilence there, you see kind of like he rears back and doesn't say anything, but you definitely he's not met. He doesn't really look in your direction much after that, and he goes, "Justice will be dealt out to these men. Deserters are not allowed within Eteria. To desert is the greatest crime of them all. To abandon your duty, to choose against what your superiors have told you. Don't you think?"
Exactly, yes. Will says, trying to speak at a normal speaking voice as an angel screams in his ear.
Mockery will actually counter. He begins, but will stop himself immediately and yet again ask permission to speak from Thrax.
You see this time he doesn't like say anything, he just kind of waves his hand.
There are times when orders must be followed to the letter, but there are also times when some commanders do not use their soldiers to the fullest. And, well, in those cases, actions must be done for the best of the people. In my opinion, I do not believe in full-on desertion. I do not feel us, the Gavels of Eva Sera, are deserters to the Arbiters. I still consider myself an Arbiter. I do not fully understand why we've been labeled as such. We've helped people. We continue to help people. And we will continue.
And you can definitely see there's more he wants to say, more he wants to speak up about, but slowly more and more fear kind of builds in him as he's speaking. He never meets Thrax's eyes, and he just kind of lets out kind of a slight whimper and will close his mouth.
But I think Jeet will like build on it and just emphasize his point and say, my companion Mockery is correct. Desertion is wrong if it's done out of cowardice, but it can be right if it's done out of courage.
As a matter of fact, General, the vows that a soldier of Eteria takes are not quite the same as the vows that an arbiter takes upon joining the order. Our vows are to Mott directly, and the High Arbiter gives us guidance, but from our perspective, it's the rest of the arbiters who have, in a sense, deserted the cause of Mott, whereas we are here following the orders of our true leader, out here helping people and bring balance to the world where otherwise we wouldn't have been. If we were soldiers of Ataria, then there'd be a much stronger structure in place to prevent these sorts of things. But due to the chaotic nature of the Arbiters organization, we're forced to make decisions like this.
Perfect. So I'll let one of you guys, between Jeet, Wisteria, and Mockery, roll a diplomacy check, and I'll add a +2 circumstance to it.
Not it.
Mockery has decent diplomacy.
Okay. Wisteria, are you trying to get for it, or are you good?
Mockery can make the roll.
All right. Oof. So that Mockery, that was
Can we want a hero point?
so probably good to spend the hero point there.
Yeah. All I needed to hear was the oof, spending the hero point there.
Alright. There we go. Let me re-roll that.
Oh yeah, that would be funny. Even to know about.
Oops, I forgot to add the +2 to. So that it goes from a 10 to a 24. So you see he nods along and he goes, different pledges. You can quibble whether it's desertion or not, but what can I say? I've ignored an order or two in the last few months. We can speak. But before we can speak, justice must be dealt. And he goes, do you have any words of mitigation for these men?
Jeet looks to Belric. He doesn't say why, but he's like just looking and waiting to see if Belric has anything to say.
You're muted.
Oof, he unfortunately appears to not be muted. I think Will would say, I won't speak. I can't speak very highly of these folks, but I can at least understand wanting to leave the, coming war. Because, in my opinion, if a war begins here in Eteria, it's going to be quite, what's a good word for it? Devastating.
I would have chose foolish. The spears of Eteria should never be turned amongst ourselves. If we set right out to war, it should be against the world. One nation, or one emperor, one empire. He looks back at these men and he goes, oh, go ahead, Mockery.
I was just saying Mockery would nod to that and look over to Jeet.
With that, he looks at the three men, the kobold, the mage, the lizard folk warrior, as well as this human pyromancer with kind of the Ifriti heritage. And he looks at him and goes, do you have any words for yourselves, deserters? And the kobold just shakes his head and kind of goes, no words for myself. Do what must be done. The human, just like the Ifriti human, just kind of looks and then like you tell he's not right in the eyes. He just smiles back at the general. And the lizard folk falls to his knees and goes, you gotta spare me. I can do anything. I can clean. I can fight. I can clean. And you see the general like recoils his lips in like pure disgust. And he goes, Ivan, the kobold dies by my blade. Drown Shinzo Z's follower. The lizard folk. Tie him in the sun so the men can see. And you see they're all three kind of pulled away. He takes a seat behind his chair and he goes, now what would bring the gavels to the general?
Well, we were hoping to bring something to your attention, actually. Wondering if you'd already heard about it yourself. Do we don't have any, don't we have like a piece of paper from the Reclaimers?
You do, you have their journal.
Right. Okay, Will would produce that, probably using magic pockets, probably taking it from somebody else's inventory. He said, we have become aware of a certain threat to Eteria as a whole that we thought might be we should bring to your attention. We were hoping that you might be able to assist us in this. And he slides the paper over to General Thrax and says, it seems that there's a cult attempting to revive or regenerate or whatever it is. It's unclear whether they believe he's dead or not even, but they're trying to bring back one of the gods of chaos.
You see he goes, kind of sniffs like, Reclaimers. Foolish bunch. You see him look over the notes you guys provided, kind of showing that the Reclaimers divided their territory into three along the river Rhea, the kind of the lifeblood of Eteria, attacking travelers, attacking small settlements, kind of trying to avoid notice as they gather the souls for what they're looking to do. And he goes, I've heard reports of the undead watering the river Rhea. I had not learned that it was the Reclaimers yet.
Well, we were planning on trying to put a stop to it, but we think it perhaps might be a job better done by a larger group than ours. So we would love to be a part of it, but I'm not entirely sure we'd be able to do it on our own. Or perhaps maybe you just give us your backing.
You see he kind of looks over the map and he goes, I agree. The journals do not indicate where their strongholds are. Wandering the deserts, it would take you 5 ages to find them. I have a proposal. I have a different mission. While these Reclaimers and their attacks have merit, too many villages have disappeared with their people gone and the buildings and everything else untouched, intact. No sign of war. I've tried to scout. I've tried to hide spies. I've tried to infiltrate all of the standard tactics of Senso, the god of war, to kind of gather information, and I have not been able to find what is going on here. I worry that I either have a spy in my camp, or that my force is too large and attracts too much attention. I would be.
And you believe? Sorry, you believe that this threat is a greater threat than the Reclaimers?
We have lost. You kind of see he looks back to the black scale dragonborn that ushered you guys in, and the dragonborn speaks up. Kind of after looking down, kind of at his notes. 6 villages, 1,000 people. And you see General Thrax points back and goes, that is more than the reports I've seen from the undead. I do believe we can help each other, though. My allegiance, we can march the River Rhea. We can find where these strongholds are. Stronghold, and from what I've heard of the Reclaimers, is not the most disciplined sect. We can march. We can find the strongholds. We can hopefully eradicate them. But what you can do that I may not be able to You guys see he rolls out a map, and you see kind of the northern reaches of Eteria with numerous villages dotted. Some of them dotted green, and you see 3 of them dotted green. The other 6 dotted red. You may be able to infiltrate the village that is going to be taken next, and find who is doing this, and hopefully where they hold themselves up at. Because we need this to stop.
And you know what village is going to be attacked next?
You see he points to the 3 villages in green. I don't know exactly. But my intelligence believes it'll be one of these 3. We tried to hide people out in the villages, but they never attack the one we've had, Atarians. As I said, I believe there may be a spy. But you, with your colorful reputation, could be of use.
So it would be best for us to pick one of the 3 villages and even side-eyes the Black Dragonborn and have no one in your camp know which one.
And you see the Black Dragonborn kind of you've seen the Black Dragon was a little bit more snarky, and he goes, close. You lot say your reputation is growing, but still not the best. People know you as deserters after your Clan 7 spoke of your deeds. The general has a harsh reputation with deserters. You can see he smiles at you as he kind of waits for you guys to fill in the rest.
Chief is not getting it,
Oh,
so he's just
I
like
see.
looking over to Wisteria.
I see. There'd be no way the general would aid us given our current reputation. We could go to one of these villages and completely be invisible to these spies. Yes?
You see General Thrax kind of nods and goes, that is part of it. The other part. And he kind of looks at Jeet with this one, not quite sympathy, but like a softer expression to his scales. This part may be a little bit harder for you to take. You've been seen in my camp. You've been seen to meet with me. We need to sell that we have had a falling out.
How could we possibly do that?
Well, the Arbiters, your Clan 7, are in Italia. We could escort you back. We'll say we are escorting you back to them. And who's to say as we escort you to Sona, you may escape. And then no one will suspect we are working together.
All right, if that's what we need to do. We did just spend a lot of time trying to build up our reputation.
So we cannot. He again looks towards Wisteria. We were hoping to get like an official writ or something, but I suppose that's out of the question to be officially working for you. But you, from everything we have seen and heard, you represent true Atarian honor. So if you promise to recognize us after our mission, then I think we are okay with it, right? Looks to be.
Of course. I have no hesitation.
And you see he kind of wraps his hand across his arm and he goes, by Nor's flames, by Senso's honor, and may Thana claim me. If you succeed, and if you bring the information that we need, I will let everyone know that it was a ruse, a deception, a ploy to find the information. and that you all are honorable individuals working alongside the Etarian people. Though if you fail, you kind of see him spread his hands.
We will not fail. That I can promise you. If I may, I know it is ill-advised to ask about a reward before the job is done, and especially a more personal one rather than one for the gavel as a whole. But as a personal request, when we succeed this and save these people and sift out this threat, I would like to request from you, General Thrax, a duel. Non-lethal, of course. I have been thinking about it ever since we took travel to you. You are an honorable warrior and quite a skilled one. Regardless of whether or not I have a chance at victory, seeing how you fight, experiencing it for firsthand, it would be a massive honor.
You no sense motive role necessary. You definitely surprised him with that. Like his snout was like narrowing, especially when you spoke of the reward. He kept looking at your medallion for Makesh, the god of prosperity to some, greed to others, and like he was like you could see just his snout started to leak. He was ready to just snap. But you see he kind of not jerked back, but definitely kind of surprised. He goes, You surprised me. I expected you to ask for gold or for honors. You wish to cross blades.
Yes, of course.
If you make it
And
back
Mockery's eyes would light up.
we shall do. And above board too, the general, he doesn't look like a desk general. He is
Yep.
he looks very formidable.
Mockery duels Black Tusk. He's had his ass handed to him plenty of times. This is still a trip for him. Mockery looks incredibly excited.
You see, he kind of nods and goes, "Of course, we will duel. And also, I will provide you with resources if you are able to successfully find who this threat is and at least a lead upon where they are taking our people and what they are doing with our people. With this," and he kind of goes, "the last bit of our deception, and this I need your word upon, and this could be the breaking of our deal. I need it to appear that you are truly leaving on our camp in disgrace, and that you are being escorted to Sona. I will need to send men to escort you to Sona. I need your word that when you escape, you do not kill these men. If you harm them, fine. Some of these men need to be blooded. But if you kill them, you will earn my eternal ire."
Oh, so those folks won't know that. Well, all right then.
"We have a spy." And he looks at Mockery with this and he goes, "While the god has no honor, in warfare, chaos and deception are your allies. You only tell those who need to know."
And Mockery has the biggest smile on his face, and he just nods. He looks a little starstruck with that one. Like, Shinzo being recognized amongst the Etarians, he's got a big smile, and he'll even say,
I can promise I will not take the lives of any of your soldiers.
They will not go easy on you.
Of course. If I may make a second request, the one who escorted us here.
Shoot, what was his name?
Morlock.
Mockery would know.
Morlock.
Moloch.
Yeah, Molox. He has not been in many great battles yet. I think he would do well against us. Even if it...
And Mockery, you can see him, think about the fact, they were starting to warm up. He was starting to warm up to them.
But he kind of shakes it off. It would be a great opportunity for it.
You see the general pause for a moment and goes, "You're right. He needs to be blooded. He's still got the scales of youth upon him. But once again, do not take his life. And they will not show you any quarter. They will think that you are deserters and deal with you justly. So fight well. And I hope to see you again with good news on what is taking place in my empire."
Out of character, this is a joke, but all right. So you're absolutely certain we can't just go fight the undead creatures?
Oh, that's a voice in his head. Yes. No killing your men. Well, we know how to protect ourselves.
Kind of see him nod and he goes, "Oh, go ahead."
While we're kind of finalizing the deal, Wisteria is kind of fingering in her pocket her potion of shared memories, and she's going to start imbuing it with the memory of this whole conversation.
Incredible.
It's about a minute, but I'll put that in the chat. She was trying to figure out a way to get very tangible proof that the journal is in on this, and I think this is the thing that would be hard to fake. So, at least trying to get the key, most important minute of this conversation.
Yeah, that's you can definitely get the general kind of describing the mission, letting them know that you're going to have to act like you're deserters and just in order to escape and not kill his men. That kind of gets everything that you need to show that this was an orchestrated plot, and even a little bit with chaos deception being the allies of a warrior. All that too. So yeah, you're able to capture all. That's a good use of that shared memories as well.
Awesome.
One of the grab it while it's all fresh in my head.
All right, so time to. Never mind. I was about to say, well, here we go again, but maybe I shouldn't say that out loud in front of this guy.
I mean, I'll turn to the party and say, so who wants to shout out that his clan should have drowned him in his crib? One of us has to do it.
I cast Bullhorn.
Yes! Do it!
You see the black.
I want to unleash a litany of curses in Empyrean. Do the Bullhorn spell to be heard by all in the area.
Perfect. Will, give me a deception check.
Oh boy. I'm actually quite good at that.
Nice. You put on like a lot of the people don't understand what you're saying, but actually most of the people don't understand what you're saying. But it's like when you're watching like a foreign film where you don't know what they're saying, but you can tell somebody's getting cussed out. Like
yeah,
that is booming and echoing out across the camp with this bullhorn spell. Like it is just booming. Like you even see the black scaled kind of dragonborn kind of like puts one hand to his ear with a smile on his snout as you do so, and you see he kind of nods and goes, "Morlock," and he kind of the green scale dragonborn kind of rushing in, and the general goes, "Gather your officer and escort these men to Sona. The deserters. Only the," he kind of points to Jeet. "Only the fact that he is a member of Clan Abe and his mother has some prominence is why we are letting him walk with his weapons and not in manacles. Deal with them harshly if they try to flee."
Will's just gonna continue just saying some unhinged nonsense. Notably, none of it with Rashanael's voice, but just going off on these guys talking about the supreme punishments that await them in the next life.
Wait, you're telling me Rashanael doesn't have a single thing she'd add to this? Just very quickly.
This is a lie, so Rashanael is not going to participate.
I see.
Imagine like she's yelling things at you in your head, and then you're taking those and saying them about General Thrax.
That's perfect.
You see, and one thing you guys are able to catch, Mockery, you in particular, you do see kind of Morlock's face falls a bit as he sees you guys deserters. And he kind of like straightens back up, grim or stoic face, and he goes, "This way, deserters." And he brings you out to the courtyard as Will's like just bullhorning celestial and curse words across the field. And eventually they do assemble a troop. You see Morlocks falls in, along with this silver scale dragonborn with a pretty wicked looking blade and some arcane sigils on his hand. You see a red dragonborn, looks like a kind of a newer recruit as well, carrying a short bow, kind of falling in behind. And you see this officer kind of make his way to the front. This officer has like grayish black scales, red eyes, long horns, and then like this hefty shield and spear. And he looks at you guys and goes, "Thought I'd be doing good for the Empire, but I'm escorting you lot. All right. Fall in." And you see the spell, kind of the one with the silver dragonborn with arcane sigils flanks to the left. Morlocks flanks to the right. The officer takes point ahead of you guys, and the one with the bow kind of falls back. Within that order, what's the other group? They kind of have you like marching double file. What order are you guys marching in?
Mockery would be next to Moloch, is all I will say.
Mockery's gonna be where?
Kind of marching close to Moloch, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Marching close to Moloch, so probably if Moloch towards the side, probably towards the side there.
Okay.
All right. I guess symbolically, Jeet will be one of the two up ahead, just trying to like slump his shoulders and pretend like he's defeated.
Will have finally quieted down by now.
Balric would be towards the back with Bear.
Even the bear's getting arrested. This is madness.
Wisteria would probably be right behind the officer, and as Will starts to quiet down, she just starts like asking all sorts of questions of like, all right, like what's your name and who are the names of the people escorting us, and like writing down, trying to kind of like keep a record of things, and trying to implying that like she might take try to get legal action if you treat her poorly and things like that. Sort of being intimidating in her own kind of way, I guess.
Give me an intimidation check. The officer looks real stern as you start asking him questions, so it's gonna be a difficult check.
Yeah.
He looks back and he just yells like, "Cobra Kai, quiet!" And he goes, "You are a deserter. Don't dishonor my ears by your voice." And he just like he yells that. You see fury in his eyes. He's gripping his spear, but eventually he turns and he goes, "March," and starts heading off.
On top of that, during these travels, Mockery is going to be trying to use his not so great reputation to his advantage, muttering and whispering either to Moloch or whoever's closest, like things like,
They say I'm contagious.
talking about things like possession and the infernals, lore about the gods that might not be looked upon highly by some.
Yeah, Jeet's gonna add fuel to that fire. He'll say to Morlock, "You shook his hand earlier. You should wash your hands with holy water, or you see the spines that are coming out of his. It's bad. It's really bad."
I have scales like you too.
Showing off his tail.
Nice. G, give me a religion check to aid, and more like a mockery. We're gonna have you roll a deception check on that side.
He's got a circumstantial +2 to help Mockery there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I forgot what your what's a pack something.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah. So we'll just do that, right?
Yep.
Oh, to do the 8 action.
Yeah, for you to do the 8 action. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. So this, what is it called? Pack
Pack hunter.
Pack hunter.
Pack hunter. Cool.
Yeah, that rolls the seed. So he'll get a +1 on this one as he rolls deception out here.
I know Mockery's trained in that.
He is. Yeah, you see, like, the officer kind of just like dismisses it. The other legionnaire with kind of like the silvery scales with arcane runes upon them kind of ignores it as well. You do see Morlox looks frightened. He is like, especially as Jeet mentions, like he shook his hand, like he was like his scales are flattening as like Mockery went over like how this poison and all of this and how this is contagious and possession. But you say he was kind of like hovering away from his Mockery said this. But as Jeet said, you shook his hand. You see like he's like trying to like still stoically march, but you do see he is like trying to like almost rub his hand off on his spear, trying to get any of it off as he can. Look.
Oh no! It will affect your equipment as well.
That's mean. That's real mean. Well, Mockery just like in his head, like hoping Sinzo heard that, hoping that made Sinzo laugh. It's like.
You see, he's clearly frightened. His scales are like flattened. His head is held low. You do see the officer. And the officer, he would have given you his name, Wisteria. His name is Varuk. But after he said, he would have told you to shut up after he said his name. Or you may have heard his name before. You know his name, but he clearly told you to stop talking to him. But with that, you hear him yell, "Quiet in the back. Morlock's position." Morlock's still completely frightened. But with that, you guys have these guys flanking you. How are you guys planning to escape? And how are you guys trying to plan that escape with sentries around?
Oh, there are definitely cantrips for this that I didn't prepare.
I have the message cantrip.
Yes.
In fact, it's one of my signature cantrips. I can do extra stuff with it. I don't need to right now, but I can.
You can.
Be honest, if no one stops Mockery at a certain point, he'd probably go, "I dedicate this combat defense 0."
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. They didn't take away our weapons or anything like that. We're not like restrained or anything.
They didn't, because the general kind of made up the statement that due to Jeet being highborn, they did not want to dishonor Clan Abe. A little bit of a fit, somewhat of a fib on his part. Jeet's mother's rising, but he kind of went from the low part of Clan Abe. But General used deception to his own means on that side. So you have your armor, you're not restrained, but they are in like a formation around you guys.
Mm-hmm. I can use message to sort of communicate to everyone, like, all right, we're gonna wait until we get out of view of the camp, and then we can catch them by surprise if we time it just right. It's gonna take a little bit. Hold on. Do I have to speak to cast this spell?
I don't think you do.
I don't think it's the 5e version.
Yeah,
It's auditory.
Oh, it is auditory?
Yeah.
Okay, you mouth words quietly, but instead of coming out of your mouth, they're transferred directly to the ears of the target. Okay, yeah. So,
all right, so nobody else can hear. If they're looking directly at me, they'd probably be able to tell I'm doing this, but if they're not, then it's silent.
Can we respond back in the same manner, or is it just one way?
Yes.
Brief response as a reaction, yeah.
Is it just the four of them, or do they have like any mounts or animals that?
no mounts or animals. It is just the 4 of them.
These 4 souls. A mockery will kind of respond back to Will whenever this message is cast. He'll say, kind in that response, in the mind,
I will have to dedicate the combat to Avenge Zero to make certain they do not die. Thus, I'm not going to be using my blade. Just a heads up on that.
Will's eye twitches, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, and Will, you're definitely good. It has auditory, but it also has a subtle, all that too. So you're good there.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we could use Bear as a distraction.
Can you telepathically communicate with Bear? I forget.
I don't think I can. I don't know. We've had some moments. This campaign.
We're connected.
Yeah.
We don't
If
need
need-
words.
If needed, I can pretend to stumble, and that could be the sign. One of them comes to either help me or order me up.
Sure. So Will would take a minute to like broadcast that message to everyone because he has to do them all one at a time.
Perfect. Well, you guys are able to get that message out. So G, it sounds like you're gonna kind of start things off by kind of stumbling. What's everybody else doing as G stumbles?
Just waiting for the signal, I guess.
when the signal goes off, Mockery's drawing his blade, and that's probably when he'd yell out, assuming no message comes to stop him, like wait. He probably draw his blade and yell out,
I dedicate this combat to Avenge Zero, God of Health, Virulence, and Apathy.
and then
is it-
immediately sheath this blade directly after he says that.
If I sort of just try to like deflect attention by just like talking somebody's ear off, can I roll deception as my initiative?
What? Is he kind of like so what are you saying is like G
Just-
starts stumbling?
I'm just saying. I probably would have started talking before G even did
Yeah.
that. Just talking somebody's ear off. Just like, listen, you've made a mistake here. You're gonna regret this later. I promise you. Like stuff like that. Just like, we're gonna show y'all that what you're doing is wrong, and we're just gonna, and we, like just talking about how like we're gonna do. Clearly the people here don't fully understand what's happening, and we're gonna show them all that our true path is the only path, blah 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 blah, never actually alluding like to exactly what the argument was even about. It doesn't matter. That kind of stuff, just so that nobody expects to get hit in the head when somebody's in the middle of a sentence.
True. Sweet. So Will's talking, Jeet's stumbling. With that too, Mockery. Mockery's yelling. So so sounds like Will, Jeet, Deception, Mockery, Intimidation for your rolls. Wisteria.
Yep.
Belric, are you guys doing anything special?
I think kind of following along with Will's idea, she'd be speaking to the officer, saying things like, I've heard a lot of awful things about Squad 7. They're not honorable like Unitarians. Like, if you turn us in, they might be so angry they might just like take you out at the same time, and just making up all sorts of lies about who Squad 7 is and things like that to try to, unnerve them.
Perfect. Give you so yeah, you roll Deception too. Belric, anything crazy? Or are you doing Perception?
Yeah, I think I'll stick with Perception. I mean, I'm towards the back with the one person behind me, so me and Bear are just kind of walking side by side, and once the signal happens, I think we'll kind of turn to the back person to try to isolate them.
Perfect.
So to get the image of this, this is basically everyone except for Bear and Belric are currently like talking everyone's ears off, like all using deception, until just suddenly Mockery yells his dedication for combat, and the dwarf and the bear just turn to the archer.
With that, you see like the officer was like he yelled quiet the first time, he yelled quiet again, But with Stereo, I thought he probably just kept like talking, and like he can't just stab you, so he's trying to ignore you for a while. So he's caught off guard as like Mockery shouts out. Jeet starts to kind of do like the slip, and you see the Arcane Legionnaire kind of starts to kind of go and try to help Jeet, but it's like chaos breaks out. Now, before we start combat with this one, I do want to mention you guys, your weapons were not drawn for this one. So Mockery, I know you had a couple plans on that one. That would be like 2 actions, I think. So just to kind of think that through, because you guys this time were you're being escorted, so your weapons aren't drawn. So as you start this combat, let's,
For the greatsword thing, can that just be a flavor of him like raising the greatsword immediately seizing it? Because he'd not be using it at all for this combat.
then you can have to kind of like lift it in your sheath and then kind of like put it back.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody roll initiative if you haven't yet. But with that too, we are going to take a quick break. So it's 8:42. Come back in like 5 minutes.
All right.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of session 4. The crew has just launched their deception to ambush these warriors of Eteria as they try to make their break away from them to begin investigating and trying to find which village this unknown threat is going to attack and see if they can save them. But unfortunately, before they can save them, they've got to kind of go through the muck a little bit with their reputation. And with that, you see these Eterians kind of scrambling as they see this is now a true threat. Let me do that real quick. All right. Yeah, so surprisingly, even frightened, Morlocks, like this is the chant he has been waiting for. Eager to join a battle. He is frightened, but he is a true believer in the Eterian cause. You see him lift his shield, raising his shield. You see him kind of step forward with his shield, and he goes, "Coward! You will submit to the Eterians and you'll be put to justice on the will of General Thrax." And you kind of see like a little bit of stutter at the end. He's trying to like sound tough and intimidating, but he is definitely a young warrior scared off his ass. And he is targeting you, Mockery. You see him walk forward and juts out with the spear. Shit, he grabbed.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh shit!
Why frightened? He crit.
Oh my god, pop off! That's gonna be an Iron Command reaction, but let's see if that takes Mockery down, depending on the roll here. Mockery only got a 12 in Constitution.
So I was gonna say he doesn't really have that much damage to deal, but he did a 12, so it doesn't take you down. But
Oh my god!
Mockery felt that. You see, like he is scared, but he believes in General Thrax, the 13th Legion. He walks forward, shield raised, stabs out like it was like you see, like he has drilled this stab like hours and hours and hours, and he finds that just gap right between your armor, stabs in and brings it back, blood trailing, shield raised as he kind of marches forward.
Iron Command reaction. When that spear pierces into Mockery, his face would be unchanging, save for a small smirk like pride. And he would say,
The previous plague god once bent Eteria to her knee. I serve the stronger one. I serve Zero. You want to clean that spear after this.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll a d20 on this. I'm not sure if he's gonna bow or can he keep fighting. Actually, he crit. He is gonna keep fighting. He's gonna take that d6 damage. So
So I think now you can choose whether you do the d6 right now or you deal persistent d6.
Now, I do actually have to ask, with this in particular, can this be non-lethal?
We'll say it's like mental damage. So yeah, we say they can be non-lethal for this one.
Can I ask, as a newer player,
Persistent.
how non-lethal works? Like, can I shoot arrows to be non-lethal, or
You can. You just take a -2 penalty to it.
the attack or the damage?
The attack. So the damage is still regular. It's just the attack. It's a -2 to hit. Sweet. So do you want to do that persistent, or do you want to take that straight away?
Let's go with. You know what? Let's just go with straight away. Mockery Scalo. Those crits got Mockery respecting him a bit. Just straight away. D6.
I'm trying to roll it for him, but it does not appear to be working.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you gotta just roll a D6 for some reason.
Oh no! If you click the thingy, it works. If you it gives you like a D6 in the box.
Yeah, mine was still showing up as 1d4 acid damage for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird for some reason.
So yeah, you see like he does that. You see like blood streaming down his like the nostril, staining his green scales as he comes through, still resolute. Like you see like for a moment look like his knees buckle and he'd kneel, but he stands kind of firm against that. It just grimaces, holding his shield above. Will.
Can Mockery just give a look to the rest of the party real fast? Like, this one's mine?
Sure.
Perfect.
All right. Oh no, this is not something I can tell just by looking at people. I think I am going to immediately just start off with a bang, I think. Will is going to turn to Officer Varuk. And he's just going to say to him, doing a bon mot. Do I have to target him for when I do that?
Well, if you target, it helps out because it'll tell you if it passes automatically, but you don't have to.
Right. Well, you target him. But I actually already clicked it. So, I think Will's just going to say, trust me, if you leave now, you'll have a better chance. He needs to make a will. No, actually, I need to roll a thing. So actually, let me target him and do the roll. Let me see if it works.
There's this separate macro for it in the compendium, so for you can just roll diplomacy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just roll.
You can do a straight diplomacy check too.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. I believe in myself. Go.
Nice.
Do.
Yeah, so you say that, and you kind of see like he has thrown off his guard, so that's a success. So you see like he's got his weapons held, but he doesn't kind of expect you to say that. Like he's gonna see like a puzzled expression upon his face. His will's kind of like not shattered, but definitely kind of thrown off its game on that side.
All right.
So he is under the effects of Bon Mot, -2 to will saves.
All right. And then for the first time in this game, I'm going to consume a spell slot.
Birds spell slot.
Yeah. I think actually. No, I don't want to kill this guy though. So that's the problem. So instead, I'm going to cast just a regular old fear.
All right.
And he has the -2 to his save.
He's gonna fail.
Yes.
Fail.
What does that spell look like as it goes off?
I think this time you actually hear Rashana'el's voice and says, "Your courage falters. You will fall." And then he is frightened. He seems to be like looking up at something that nobody else can see. The guy who failed. I mean, he's like looking up at like something above Will's head, but nobody else can see what he's looking at.
You see the officer, he went from like angry at Wisteria to angry at you guys for breaking out to confused after the Bon Mot to just pure fear upon his face. It's like his shield is raised, his head is looked up, just straight confusion. All right.
And so when it's a failure, it's frightened too. Awesome. Cool. That's my turn.
You see the Legionnaire, like, especially seeing the bear and Belric turn at the same time and look at him. You see he starts to pulling back on that long bow. He is going to, or short bow, I should say. He's going to take a shot at Belric. First should miss. Second super misses. Does he have anything cool he could do? This is not the best sharpshooter. He's just gonna go for it.
Wow, that one hit.
Yeah, you see, that's crazy. Yeah, you see, like the first two, like wide. The first one, Belric dodges. The second one goes wide. You see the third one, he like pauses. He takes a deep breath, pulls the arrow back, and just lets that thing loose. Luckily, this is just a regular hit, though, because with this being below your AC, the crit just makes it a hit. So it goes one step above, so it doesn't do critical damage.
I was about to say an inferior archer, but hey, no, this guy's got potential.
You see, kind of, he was like between like Jeet falling, people just nonstop chatting at people. Like, he was caught off guard before he kind of like collected himself, took his breath, and started shooting. But Wisteria, you are up.
All right, I'm a just mid-sentence fire a quick draw and fire 2 shots on the officer. He's off guard because of surprise attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be a good bone. Off guard, fighting too.
Hey.
Ooh.
And aiming for his leg. I don't want them to be able to chase after us and also not kill them.
Mocker, I know you can't see. It's a 30.
and I think it crits because of the frightened. Without the frightened, it might not have crit.
Yeah, without the frightened, probably or would have. No, it wouldn't have because there's a -2 to it as well due to the. Oh, actually, I should ask. Non-lethal, right?
Yeah. I'm shooting the leg.
Yeah, without the frightened, it would not have crit. But that crit.
My goodness.
Yeah, 18 damage too. He like. You see, like he's looking up, like just at all the angelic display that Will is putting on, and he does not see that bolt coming, and it just sinks into him. But you still got 2 actions left.
Okay. He's not bloodied or anything yet, is he?
Not yet.
All right, I'll take another shot.
You Did you use an action to take your weapon out?
I have quick draw, so
Oh, nice.
I draw and strike
Yeah.
with a single action.
Want that?
You see, this time he's able to get his shield in place. It's able to kind of block that one away.
All right, and then I'm gonna see.
Recall knowledge, maybe? I don't know.
I'm saving that for when I need to get off people off guard. I'm gonna just stride and hope that Morlock doesn't have attack of opportunity. All right, get out here.
Perfect. Yeah, luckily Morlocks does not have that, so you see kind of eyes as you go by, but you're able to escape unscathed.
You are fighting me.
Mockery will just shoot back at him.
You see, like he kind of raises his shield, like not like above his eyes, but probably a little bit higher than he should towards his eyes as that statement comes. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying, Mr.
That was my turn.
Oh, sweet. All right, Varuk is up. You see, Varuk is scared. He is hurt. But surprisingly, G, you see his eyes lock with you, and he goes, "You're from a great clan. You serve the god Nar. I expected better." And you see him rush in, shield high. He kind of goes in and just stabs out twice, trying to just not recklessly, but definitely aggressively coming in.
Thank God for that frighten.
Yeah. You see, he is off his game. Like, he came in, like, first thing, like, it was going to be like a good spear thrust, but he kind of looked up and just saw that that holy, horrific angel display, and he kind of like the thrust goes wide, and the second one is just completely off. And you hear him just grimace and just holding. He actually didn't even raise his shield, so just holding his spear, ready to continue the fight. Belric, you are up.
Oh my. Okay. I'm going to begin by hunted prey on the legionnaire that I'm facing.
All right.
Target him and cast that. Oh. Sorry. Then I will command my animal, bear.
All right.
And bear is going to token. Sorry, I can't. Over here. There it is. Bear. And he is going to attack Buddy. Hold on, sorry. Target. You can move.
I think you got the rules. So you got to change it to the little square box next to the person display. There you go.
And I'm gonna non-lethal. I don't really know how to make it non-lethal.
I haven't found that in the system yet. We'll just -2 from your attack.
Non-lethal claw. I can -2 a modifier maybe.
I can do the -2 with modifier too. Yeah, I don't think of that.
We're just gonna roll it.
Nice. That's a crit.
So yeah, that's a crit.
Okay. So bear will kind of get.
Oh, you cut out there a second. Can you get bear what?
Sorry, can you hear me? Okay.
You can now.
Okay. Bear will get a running start and claw at him, and it'll be a crit hit.
Also, don't forget
Non-lethal.
that your well, actually, it doesn't matter. But also with your ranger thing, your bear gets your precision.
Oh.
Doesn't matter though. How does bear kill this dude? Or how does bear non-lethally take this guy down?
Yeah, so like they turn back. He takes a couple shots. One of them hits Belric, the third one, and Bear like gets pissed. And so I lay up the hunt prey, and then I just look over at Bear, and Bear just sprints at him and bats at his face, and the guy's just down for the count. That simple. And then can I turn to Morlocks? And can I try disarming?
If you turn to Moloch, Mockery will be shooting you a look like, don't even think it.
I'm just disarming him, though.
Mockery still be giving you that look.
That's fine. I'm gonna help you out. Can I disarm? I've never done that before, so.
You can.
Is it a single
you have
action?
hand free.
I haven't drawn anything. I did hunted prey, and then
you haven't drawn a
animal.
weapon, so yeah, you actually do have a hand free. So yeah, you can disarm. So give me an athletics check. It's going to be against his reflex DC. Chris success, you knock the weapon out of his hand, and I forgot what happens in the success. I think it's a -2.
Does disarm affect only the weapons, or can it affect the shield? I'm curious.
Item. Actually, I'm not sure. I think it affects shields too.
Oh, that was from Bear.
Spirit, do you know if it affects shields too?
I think by rules as written, it affects attacks that you make with the shield, but I don't think it unless you fully disarm, I don't think it reduces the shield defense.
I see. Still, that's pretty cool.
So
More
I don't know
build
if-
ideas coming.
Tegan, I don't know how you want to handle that. I actually rolled with bear, so if you want to like split those or something, or I don't know, like
we'll use the bear roll. So unfortunately with that one, you can see he's able to kind of like hold on to his spear, clearly still frightened, but he's trying his best to honor the 13th. He keeps his spear in hand.
that's my turn.
All right. G, you are up. What are you doing?
Okay, Jeet is gonna try a tanking tactic that he's never tried before, which is to stay on the ground prone and just pretend to be like the most easy to hit person. And so from the ground, without standing up, he will cast first. He'll cast the shield spell on himself as this fiery ethereal shield just pops up in front of him. And then he will cast Bless on himself, and that does have the manipulate trait in case that's relevant.
And unfortunately is relevant.
Okay, yeah, so let's see
Uh-oh.
the attack first. Oh, okay.
That fright is coming. Oh, it would have missed either way. But that fright and shield are coming in handy.
So good. Sorry, I think I have one too many shields. Okay, yeah, it would just be the spell effect shield. Yeah, but even with that, I think it
Even with that, he
would've
still misses. There you go.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so that's my turn. Nar will protect me. Nar is still on my side. And with that, he's just getting all of this magical Nar effects around him.
You see, he tried this spear thrust was like on point. You see that fiery shield just spring up and block it, thrusting it away.
Tegan,
Yeah.
I didn't add the -2 non-lethal penalty, so my crit would have been a normal hit. So you can give the officer 9 hit points back.
Oh, I think it's still.
I think Tegan accounted for it. That's why he asked you. Like,
Oh, it was even
non-lethal.
with the. So it
it's
was a
still 28,
30
right?
result, but a 28 is still a crit.
Yeah, it's still correct. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cool.
Mockery, you are up. Morlocks
Oh, boy.
right in front of you. His shield's raised. What's Mockery doing here?
First, he's gonna turn to Belric. Probably the hardest look he's ever given Belric. A bit of a growl as to say,
Help the others. I have this one. I prefer my duels uninterrupted.
and for
I was gonna say
Belric
Belric
goes to say something?
Belric rolls his eyes and turns to maybe the Arcane Legionnaire.
Nice.
All right. Mockery is going for a grapple check on Moloch.
Nice.
All right.
All right, hold on. I believe I can do this. Grapple is one in the basic macros thing, right?
Should be.
Probably.
If
What
not,
order
use
is
roll
this?
athletics for him too.
There it is. Hey, you got him.
Yes. Yeah. So you grapple him up.
What color is Vince Zero's color?
Probably green as well.
Oh, that's perfect. So, this is gonna this right here is gonna bring back some memories of the first campaign. But Mockery is now going to cast a spell as this drool begins to radiate a sickly green color as something begins to build up within him. He is going to cast Touch of Corruption, and how that's going to look is Mockery of vomiting up bile, plague, and pox upon Moloch.
Nice. I did. All right. Sweet. Oh, what's that one? What do I have to do? Does this happen?
I think it just happens.
Okay. Sweet. So let me throw basic fortitude in. Where is that at? Oh, does it give your DC?
It should be the champion DC.
Oh,
The DC is 17.
yeah, he super fails that. Or not super, he fails it regularly, I should say. So 1d6 void damage. The target also takes a -2 penalty to AC for the round. What does that look like as you just vomit bile upon poor Mala?
It is a sickly radiation that's just emanating a constant like waterfall of it onto him, as it is the magic, the blessings of Vincero. As Mockery's own eyes glow that sickly green, he's basically with that grapple holding Moloch in place, like how what were they called, the plague walkers, plague bearers, back in the old game. Yeah, just like how they. Oh, sorry. You were saying?
I think it was the plague walkers or plague carriers. I forgot what I called them.
Yeah. And this is this question will affect Mockery's next action. Is Moloch frightened already?
He is still frightened.
All right. Then Mockery's going in for a bite. Non-lethal, of course.
All right.
Shit, the no bite.
Oh dear.
Yep. Also, actually, I'll roll this one. So there's still a d6 damage too. Let me do that real quick. You roll the bite, and I'll roll the d6 for the other thing. Oh, it's 1, unfortunately. Still 1 damage. So yeah, he's not bloodied yet, but he is definitely hurt.
All right, Jaws.
Crit.
It's a crit.
Oh my goodness! So it's basically like Mockery's mouth was still open from the vomit, and before that even ends, he just snaps it down onto Moloch like a bear trap, probably around his face to make sure this soldier gets a bit of a scar to remember the spy.
Oh right. I did not. It did not bring up the screen for me to make it non-lethal attack, so it should be a -2. I don't know if a 25 is no longer a crit.
Still crits for this guy. He's not the Morlox is definitely the newer variety of soldier between all the debuffs he's got right now. That's still a super crit.
Yeah, Mockery's being a little mean at the moment here.
So roll that crit.
And the normal
probably
fight
take him down.
is a 1d8, so this is damaging right here.
All right, damage. It's D8 because this thing is saying it's D6.
That makes it easier. I see the crit thing on my side, so I'll throw that in.
Oh, is it? It might be a D6. Sorry, I might be thinking of the null crunch that makes it a D8, and I didn't take that from
D6. But luckily, you did. I don't know what that roll 8. So 16 damage total on that side. He had 9 damage left. So how do you put this guy down?
Mockery just after giving him the blessings of Benchiro right there, snaps his jaws down onto his face. There's probably a bit of a crunching noise. With this crit, can he make sure he doesn't kill this guy, he gives him a scar, like something he can tell his buddies about.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You give him a wicked looking scar, and probably some bio burns as well. But yeah, he'll have a story to tell at the end of this.
And after this guy goes limp, Mockery just opens his maw and lets him just fall to the ground, and he just turns the rest of the battle, teeth bared, smiling, and he'll just look to the sky. Vincero! I hope you enjoyed. Let us continue.
You hear the Arcane Legionnaire bellow out, "You have no honor!" He whips his sword around. He comes charging in. But as he comes charging in, he uses one of his actions. You see the arcane sigils on his left arm glow, and you see these barrage of little silver bolts of force come at you. And Mockery, he is coming for you with this. You see.
Oh no! Is he within 15 feet?
He is. He should be. Yeah, exactly 15 feet.
Iron Command.
Sweet. Yes, I'll roll that, and then he's definitely staying on his feet. Do you want to do the damage right away or persistent?
Let's go right away for this guy as well.
All right.
Mockery's holding back a bit.
So you see the bolt hits you, 2 damage for the first one. He charges in with his second action, and you see he whips his blade as this bastard sword at you with his other temple sword with his other hand. That'll hit.
Oh boy.
Just 5 damage.
Is Mockery still up?
Yeah, you're still up. Actually, still looking decently healthy. You have 11 HP.
All right, so that Iron Command will pop off, and it'll be as this guy is charging Mockery just taking these bolts and that sword slice, looking a lot rougher, as he'll just bark Jim.
I have honor. I believe that should scare you more.
You see he is just growling. Like you see like growling, and you see him looking at the kind of the ground, looking towards the crumpled form of Morlocks. Like you can see like he's like looking to see like if he's you can't really tell right now in this like heat of the battle, but you could definitely tell his eyes are looking to see if Morlocks is still alive or if you straight up just ended him, because that looked pretty vicious. But yeah, with that,
Can Mockery actually shoot a comment, or has he already expended the amount of comments he can do in one round?
unfortunately, we can definitely get that comment next round for him. But Will, you are up.
Awesome. All right, so Morlocks is definitely going to be like Kobe from One Piece situation here. But the Will is going to, at the start of his turn, unleash his psyche. This is it's the big move, man. We're gonna do it every time.
Nice.
But I think this time. Well, you know what? First up is a bon mot, or a bon mot, I should say. And targeting that guy. Go. Diplomacy. Ooh, did not work. So Will is just saying in Rashanael's voice, "You cannot win. I have seen your end." But apparently the guy doesn't care. But in either way, I'm still going to cast Daze on him because it is a non-lethal damage spell.
All right.
Targeting the Arcane Legionnaire. Actually, maybe I should target Officer Varuk now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm going to target
Officer from your fear. He's got frightened one now.
Yeah. I'm going to target actually Officer Varuk. And I am going to use my amped version of Daze.
Oh, he's frightened. He's actually stood your bomb up too. Yeah, I would definitely use on him.
Oof. He succeeds. All right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, he just takes a small amount of damage. Unleash Psyche. Yep, that's it. Go. So he thinks he takes half of this damage, so he takes 2 damage. Non-lethal mental damage.
You see it starting to pile up on him. He's not bloody. He's very close to being bloodied. You see he's bleeding even harder from his nose. You see his spear is up, shield raised. He is fighting through it. But you do see like fear in his eyes, especially as he looks at the young fallen Morlocks too, with some panic in his eyes.
All right. So that is bon mot, and I have cast a 2-action spell. That's the end of my turn.
All right. Wisteria, you are up.
All right, I'm gonna try to recall knowledge on this officer.
Unfortunately, you do not. And with this, I'm just gonna start telling you because you need it for your like off guard stuff.
Yeah.
This fails. You can tell he's a legionary soldier of Eteria, but you're not really able to get much information off of him.
In that case, should have been doing more listening than talking earlier. I'm gonna try to create a diversion and just shout, look, it's Squad 7, come to rescue us, and just point in another direction.
Nice.
All right.
And still no off guard for me.
Fortunately, that will fail.
Alright, I'll just fire off a shot then.
You see, he kind of like glares at you. He goes, "You are my prey, deserter." I don't hit though. You see, it kind of glances across his armor.
I just kind of shrug and say, really want to kill these guys, but doing my best. That's me.
All right. You see, Officer Baruch is still like angry. Kind of the fear is starting to wear off a bit, but you see he is just going straight after Jeet, stabbing down. Before he does that, though, Jeet, you hear him look at you and go, "All will know of your failure. We will tell your mother. We will tell your father. If we can find your deserter sister, we will tell her as well." And you see he's going to try to demoralize you.
My God, he's saying all the right things. I maybe he should get a +1 circumstance bonus for this.
If we won't give him a +1, but he's going for it. Why is that? That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's going against himself for some reason. What's your will DC?
It's the highest one. So will DC right now is 20? I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
20.
a regular success on this one.
Okay.
But yeah, you see, he definitely pushed the right buttons. Being a fellow Tyrian, he kind of knows what things to really kind of bring down upon you there. And you see, he calls that out, and then you see him smile, and then just start jabbing out with his spear, trying to take you off guard.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, damn. Yeah, great. He does another as well. Crit and a hit. All right.
Okay, so first one is what I'll be using my spells shield block on. Let's see if I survive after this second one. Okay, cool. So block that, take the damage.
All right.
All right.
So he stabs out twice. You see both kind of piercing into Jeet as he's on the ground. Jeet, how are you looking now?
Not great. No, not great. More than bloody. Close to the end.
So you see he's stabbing down. You see like he just grimaces and goes, "Gonna die a coward's death," as he looks upon you. All right. Elric, you are up.
Okay, I will move my hunt prey to this guy. Then I'm going to command animal and bear. I need to grab. Bear is going to come up and claw our buddy. Right. Non-lethal claw, so we'll -2 to this.
Fortunately, you see the Legionnaire jumps back just in time.
You know what? I feel like I might as well right now use our hero point. So I'm going to re-roll that with -2 again. And I 0 points, man. Bear's missing.
Ouch.
And then Belric, that'll be 2 actions and Bear's turn. Belric is going to try to... He's got a low center of gravity. He's going to try and trip. Do one of those to this guy.
They're flanked right now, so trip will probably be a good one on that side too, just to make a spin in action.
Let's trip.
All right, give me an athletics check. I think it's against reflex or trip, if I remember it.
Yeah, reflex DC.
Oh man, I keep using
Nice.
bear. It looks like that hits.
What's your athletics versus bears?
All right, 1 second.
I think it was +5 if I remember the last time correctly.
Yeah. Mine's +5 and bears is
Oof. All right. Unfortunately, bears is +7, so that would
7.
that unfortunately will fail. It just fails just by 1, unfortunately. But you do see he resists and kind of stays upon his feet.
All right, that'll be Belric's turn.
All right. G, you are up.
G is just reciting
Frightened off guard.
a prayer to Nar, just like instinctively. Now that he's like so low in hit points, I don't know if he's gotten this low in the adventure before, but now that he's so low, he's just like instinctively just reciting all of this things that were drilled into him. They're coming up now, so he will reach out and try and trip the officer. Which he's doing with a -2 penalty because he's prone, but he will still try it out. So, first up is that. All right, we take it.
Hit him.
Nice. That'll knock him prone.
Okay.
What?
All right.
It's fantastic.
And then I don't know what's going to happen. Oh man! And this is like one of the few things that he does that's not non-lethal, but it's just all coming out instinctively right now, just because he's so close to death, or he thinks he is. He starts casting another spell, and this one also has the manipulate trait.
All right. He is prone, so he's gonna take a -2 penalty to this. He lashes like you. How does it look as you bring him to the ground? Before I describe how his spear thrust looks as you
Grab him by the knees and just like pull.
You see him falls to the ground. He sees you starting to kind of gather that arcane energy. You see him like jump forward with his spear. He will hit.
Oh yeah, that hits,
Uh-oh.
and that takes me down.
Yeah,
Oh no!
He falls to the ground, sees you gathering that, and just jabs his spear in and twists and jabs it back. You guys see G fall to the sand, bleeding from his wounds.
Jeet!
Alright. So why did we move Cheat up? Oh.
I should have moved me before Varuk now.
Yeah. So you are so you see Jeet on the ground. He is bleeding, hurt, and where were we at before? No, sorry, Mockery.
Oh.
You were up.
Yep.
Shoot. Mockery has this guy lined up in front of him. This guy's been the one swinging on Mockery, but he just saw one of his friends go down. His dedication of this combat to Vinzero kind of cracks. The apathy falls, and fear more enters his eyes instead. And he is going to rush off from this spell sword over to Jeet's side instead.
Perfect.
Sorry, Bear.
All right, you get to Jeet's side. It just takes one action to reach him. What are you doing?
Is there any action Mockery can take to try and get Jeet back up?
Do you have a healer's tools? Or actually, sorry,
No.
you have battle medicine. I mean,
No.
say. So fortunately, not. Or actually, do you have a potion? I think you can give somebody else a potion, right?
Mockery does have 2 potions of healing.
It would take 2 actions because you have to use one to draw the potion, one to feed it to him. Will you do that?
But also, the guy you're right next to, like, Jeet spent his last breath trying to take him down and trip him. So, yeah, this guy's tripped on the ground within your reach.
Is that guy still frightened?
He is no longer frightened, but he is prone. So he's off guard.
Off guard, he can be more debuffs can be applied. Mockery's gaze hardens for a moment, and he'll go to demoralize. And he'll say to him,
That was a mistake you just made.
and let's see.
Oh wait, I should be doing that, shouldn't I? My bad.
Yeah.
Kind of zoned out for a second. That's my job. Yep. Go. The macro says boo, like to roll the die.
It does, yeah.
Which I think is
unfortunately
amazing.
that will fail by 1. Even with the bon mot on that. So you see he holds his like own on that side. No fear showing in his eyes. You spent 2 actions. You've got 1 left. What are you doing?
Going for a bite. Non-lethal, though you can clearly tell Mockery is holding himself back with great restraint and struggling to do so.
You crit, so yeah.
Yes!
Yes! He just let's give this guy a bit. He gave Moloch a nice scar that he can tell stories about and whatnot. Let's give this guy with that crit, if possible, a less nice scar that will keep him up at night.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
you give like the other guy like a badass face scar. This guy has like one of those scars that just kind of like it looks a little ugly when you look at it the wrong angle.
Yep. Like a small chunk of flesh taken out and not having to like heal up.
Does that include the non-lethal penalty?
Oh, unfortunately, that doesn't include.
No. Ah, dang.
That will.
Didn't give me the opportunity to add that in, unfortunately.
Not crit? Dang, so no scar then.
So 8 damage to him. He is bloodied. He is looking pretty worse for the wear as he is on the ground. Jeet's bleeding. Or actually, no, Jeet's still bleeding out beside him, but Mockery kind of just biting down upon him. He is still looking like he's going to try to continue this fight. The Legionnaire especially is. You see Legionnaire seeing Belric trying to tackle him to the ground, turns his gaze and goes, "Filthy dwarf." And he just slashes out twice with his temple sword. Misses the first, crits the second. And he did the same thing, burning his last action on a force barrage, this time targeting Belric.
Ow.
Alright, 12 on the crit, 3 on the second one. Belric, how are you looking?
All right. I've got half HP.
So yeah, you guys just see like this guy just like
Stout dwarf.
swinging. First one goes above Belric's head. The second one cuts in, and you see him just reach with his other hand and just blast him with this arcane blast. Just stoic determination upon his face. Will, you are up.
All right, cool. So, first thing I'm gonna do as my first action is Jeet, you're sort of like fading in and out of consciousness, but you just hear like whispers coming into your mind, and it's just saying things like, It's not your time yet. You must keep going. Like that kind of stuff. And I'm going to use Restore the Mind on Jeet.
Yes.
Nice.
You gain 6 hit points.
Oh, amazing.
That's my first action. And then my second action, I think I'm going to... I'm going to try... I never get to use this spell, and it's fun. And I'm going to do it, I think.
Let's do it. What are you doing?
Because... But the guy's probably going to be dead by the time it even gets to his turn anyway. So maybe instead I would just be better off just trying to daze this guy. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, this one. And he's looking bloody. There's a decent chance I take him out before he gets a turn. So daze. And I'm using the amped version on Officer Varuk. Go. It's going to be a will save from him. I think he is no longer frightened or oh wait, the bond mod is still affecting him, I believe.
Bond mod still applies. Yeah.
But he succeeds. Okay, then in that case, I'm just gonna roll the damage. And it's just gonna be half of 7, so 3.
Yeah, you see more blood pours out of his ears and nose. And yeah, he is on the ground, squirming. He definitely looks like he's getting near the end.
All right, that is going to be the end of my turn.
All right, that guy is dead. Hysteria, you are up.
All right, I'm gonna take a shot at the officer, him being on the ground, giving me some off guard.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's I put in off guard and non-lethal, so I'll roll damage.
Oh, okay. The off guard I think already applies on him, unfortunately. Maybe.
All right.
Like-
Oh, because he's got the debuff on him, I think.
That hits. He's looking really rough. If you can hit again, you
Nice.
may be able to take him down.
I'm going for it. All right, so I won't add in a manual. It probably did it right because they're both circumstance bonuses. Oh wait. -2. Okay. Come on, dice.
Oof.
Oh,
I'm gonna use a hero point on that.
Hero point.
yes.
Hey.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's go for 4. Is that enough?
Unfortunately not. He is arrows piercing his armor, psychic just holy emanations like causing blood to pour from his nostrils. But he's an officer of the Legion, 13th Legion. He is fighting on. You got one action left, I believe? Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, how many? I need a reload. Okay, I got one more shot before I need a reload.
But if you reload now, you don't have to do it next turn.
Yeah, but reloading the repeating crossbow is 3 actions.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Need to take the magazine out, fetch the new magazine, and put the new magazine in. I could start doing that now, but I think I'm just gonna. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. Well,
And you can always aid somebody too if you've got if
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have good action as well.
Let's see. So would I just like shout encouraging words or something and make a roll to give somebody a +1 to an attack? Or something
Definitely.
like
So
that?
encouraging words. If you think you spotted like an angle they may not have seen, kind of utilizing one of your skills in a way that either be a distraction, useful information, kind of however a reasonable flavor, and we'll let you roll with it.
Okay. Actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stride up to the officer, and next turn I will, and I'll drop the crossbow on the way, and next turn prepare to draw a rapier.
All right. You are up. Or you are down, but you are awake. Your turn is up.
Down but alive. All right. I'll spend one action to stand up, menacingly, or just authoritatively, with like the fires of Nar and Nar's blessing still swirling around me. I look down at Officer Varuk. I draw my fist back, and I say, "Nar still guides my hand," and I go for the attack.
Nice.
Wait, does standing up trigger an opportunity attack from this
Luckily,
guy?
he used his reaction to kill G or knock G down last time.
Not
Right.
All right, I'll use a hero point on that. Let's see what
All right.
happens. Ooh, that's even worse.
So,
And I do have one more action, so there's a second where as he misses, he's like, "Does Nar still guide my hand?" And then he comes for the backswing.
oh, that's,
Oh,
Ooh.
close.
this is
All right, that's my turn.
you see, he's just rolling through, kind of dodging those blows. He is going to stand to his feet, and he goes, "Nar has abandoned you," and he stabs back out.
Oh shit! I'm down to dying 3 now.
All right,
God.
yeah.
Oh no.
You see, he stabs that in. You see, Jeet goes down. Jeet is not looking great. He is bleeding profusely, multiple wounds. Breath is ragged. And you see, like the Dragonborn smirks above him, and he actually turns and he strikes out at you, Mockery, with his last attack and goes 13th. Like you see, like he's not even like saying anything like. He's just shouting his legion, shouting where he's come from. He is fighting for his life in the honor of his general, and he's just going for it. And that will, oops, that was for Jeet. I don't think that'll hit Mockery. That'll miss Mockery. So Mockery, you see him stab out the spear, just misses you, 17 versus an 18, and you were able to kind of turn it aside with your armor. But he is just bleeding, swaying on his feet, barely conscious, just literally just shouting 13. Belric, you are up. What do you do?
Wait, did Mockery get his turn?
Oh no, Mockery's next.
Oh, okay, got it.
Can I use battle medicine on Jeet?
Unfortunately, do you have that? Do you have battle medicine?
I do.
Oh, do you have healer's kit?
I do. I purchased that in my artisan's kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot you took that. I forget.
All right. Well, I am going to treat wounds, which I probably should have done my last time instead of tripping this guy, but
You just have to move forward one.
okay. I will move once.
Just out of curiosity, do you have a hero point?
I used it and I failed, so no, I don't.
Do we have a
It's dangerous
You must
to
still have
use.
some in your spot too, I think.
There's only a 1 in 20 chance that you kill me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like my odds.
We're gonna have 3 inspo in the box for hero point.
Alright, so I think I select treat wounds here, and then I don't really know.
Yeah, you just said treat wounds and like click on actually I can't click on them either.
I don't know what that.
Crit success, man, nice. So he gets
Oh
90
my
HP back. So Belric, what do you do? Like, how do you like miraculously like clear this dude?
I don't know. Belric doesn't even know. He's never used it before. So Belric kind of goes over and he just like starts seeing the wounds and like I don't know if it's intuition or luck, but he just like starts kind of going in and maybe sewing some stuff up, and it stops the bleed, and all of a sudden, like, he's a bit revitalized.
So I feel like Belroy probably has some like natural remedies that probably people have scoffed at before, but you throw them on and
Sure.
you come back to consciousness and like you feel pretty decent actually. Like, you feel like that crit success 19. I don't. What's your HP total?
Like 26.
That's crazy.
You feel pretty good. And you still have one action left, all right, too.
Yeah, so for my last action, I'm going to command Bear, and Bear is going to take a couple swipes at this pesky Legionnaire with his jaws. At this point, my first one, I don't care if it's... I mean, I don't know that this guy's been hit, so I might just attack.
Just take it. Yeah, take it. Not lethal, I mean.
Yeah, this is...
He's
a
only
flank.
been, hit once by Iron Command, where there's I think the 2. He's looking very healthy. He's not even bloodied.
All right, I'm gonna bite.
All right,
Bear's biting.
that'll just hit.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. This might have...
Nice.
Okay, and then Bear will, after he bites, he is going to non-lethal claw. So subtract an additional 2 from this. That'll miss.
Fortunately, it bites. He jumps back. You have that guy hunted prey, though, right?
Did, yeah.
Roll an extra D8 for that first one.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
Luckily, this can't kill him. If you crit with that one, could you have killed him? Yeah, if you crit with that, you could have killed him. But luckily, you didn't crit.
Okay. Yikes. We rolled the dice there.
You are up. There's 2 left. Officer Varric has just stabbed Jeet down.
Yeah.
Looked like a fatal blow, but luckily Belric got him back up. What do? You're right next to the barrack. Rook, I mean.
With mockery, no. Like, the general said not to kill these guys. Would maiming them be frowned upon?
You would guess from the general, if you could leave him in fighting shape, with all of his limbs able to hold a shield and spear.
That's the thing. But what if without the shield limb? Would that be a no?
For the Atarians, that'd be worse.
That'd be worse. Ooh. Hmm.
What do you have that can cut off his limbs?
We'll see. We'll see. In that case, Mockery is going to unsheath his greatsword.
And this guy is very near death.
Yep. And he's gonna, with it, yell out,
I dedicate the rest of this combat to Shinzo Z. Let the show begin.
as he will take a non-lethal swing, still non-lethal, at this officer here
With the greatsword?
with the greatsword.
Alright.
Alright. I don't know how to make it non-lethal because it always just rolls it immediately when I click on the button. It doesn't bring up. Alright.
That hits, even with a -2.
All right.
This should
Then-
yeah. So how do you non-lethally finish this guy?
Mockery, while doing this non-lethally, is aiming to break bones. Not to fully cripple the guy, but at least leave him injured for a while. And he's aiming for the shield, specifically that shield arm, because it's worse. And he just takes the blade and slams it down with the flat and with such massive force. I imagine it's just almost like a thunderclap.
You hear that crack ring out. You see like his arm buckle, the shield like still strapped to his arm, but fall as he collapsed to the ground at an awkward angle. And yeah, you see he is still breathing, but definitely like small moans of pain come out from him as he hits the ground. You got one action left. Is there anything else you want to do? The other guy is away from you, so you have to move stride to get to him.
Mockery, looking at this guy, will just kind of callously say,
The reason why you still breathe is because I am still with the Arbiters.
and then he'll look down to Jeet and immediately use his last action to help his friend back to his feet.
We'll let that go for this one. I'm not sure if there's a way to bring people to their feet. For this combat, we'll let that go because with this, the Arcane Legionnaire, he doesn't drop his weapons, but he does kind of like, you see he lowers his weapons. He raises his shield but lowers his spear, and he goes. Kind of, he looks between Morlock, the archer, and Officer Baruch, and he kind of sees that the chat still rises and falls, and he goes, I cannot continue this fight. The odds are against me. Allow me to take my friends, my allies, and recoup, and you deserters can flee. And he's not gonna attack. He's not gonna do anything. Will, you're first in the action, but the rest of the party, what do you guys do? Will first, but the rest of the party, do you guys continue the fight with the Arcane Legionnaire?
Will actually his unleashed psyche ends right then. So he like sort of drops. He's no longer floating. He's still on his feet, but he drops and sort of like doubles over for a moment. He's sweating and it looks like he has a headache. And he says, "Well, we have no intention of causing unnecessary bloodshed today. Let us go, and we will leave." And Will begins to sort of stumble away.
Mockery will not sheath his greatsword and will kind of stomp one of his hoofed feet.
I am not so quick to give this up.
And he'll point the greatsword at him.
You and I, we continue this duel. I have no intentions of killing you. But you did a great number of wounds against me. I say we continue this. I leave you in walking shape. How about that?
You see, he looks between his companions, like his officer on the ground, Morlock with bile and blood from his scales. You see the archer mauled by a bear. You see not fear in his eyes, but you see like a cold calculation. And he kind of shakes his head and goes, General Thrax and Senso would not advise it. You see he points his spear to the sun. If I fall unconscious along with the rest, it may be some time before we come to. He points his spear at you, not Morlock. He points his spear at you, Mockery, and goes, Donna, the General, and the 13th, I must refuse your challenge. But no, next time we meet, when I do not have the obligation of caring for my comrades, we will cross blades.
Then tell me in the name of the man that I shall spar with, that I will do the next time I will meet. You already know mine.
He kind of pounds his chest. You see some sparks, arcane sparks, kind of against his armor. Vexio, 13th Legion.
Mockery will nod, sheath his sword.
Shinzo will get his display later.
With that, you see he kind of like he kind of holds his blade ahead of him, kind of cautiously, kind of waiting for you guys to kind of abandon or move away from his comrades. And actually asked, do you guys eventually move away from his comrades?
Yes.
Yes.
With that, you guys, as you kind of head off in the distance, you see him kind of move to his people, and kind of as they look back, you see him like treating wounds, kind of pouring potions, trying to get his people up enough at least to kind of begin the march back to the camp. Defeated, losing track of their charges, as the gavel emerges victorious. And while Jeet had a very, very near death scare there with that crit doubting, Jeet is alive and well. And you guys are able to make your way into the sands away from the 13th Legion that was sent after you. But you guys do have some of the materials that General Thrax has provided to you. He provided you with a copy of the map that was on his desk, showing the 9 locations, with 6 of them in red, 3 in green, with one of the villages being the one that it's going to be attacked next. With that, what do you guys do next, or how does the group proceed?
Can I mention something just real fast?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
When we are out of eyesight of that legionnaire there, Mockery is going to immediately look guilty and kind of down, looking like he did not enjoy playing the more aggressive villain-esque role, but there is still also guilt, because he definitely was not, let's say, faking much.
Sometimes the dark side is easier to access than we would like.
I think I don't know what everybody else, I would like to get to a place where we are out of sight. I don't know exactly. Are we just out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, where we will probably die of thirst, or what?
You guys have rations and all of that too, so I think a lot of you have sleeping tents and things like that too. So you guys have resources, but yeah, you are in the middle of the desert. But yeah, I assume you're prepared for that side. And for that first portion, it's not a dive into the desert, so we don't need to gotta go through the supplies portions. But for this one, you guys are prepared for that side.
All right. I want to get, as soon as we're out of sight of the where the battle happened, I would like to take a break, treat wounds, refocus, all that good stuff.
Just regroup, and Jeet is just shaking his head. It's like, I tried something new. I will never do that again. Never voluntarily going down in front of my enemy ever again. That was the worst.
No, but protected you well, at the very least.
Yes. Yeah, oh my goodness. I heard, what did I hear? I heard a voice. It was this very calm and soothing voice. And then I remember saying things about Nar, and then there was just like black. And I remember Nar's fire in the distance, and it was calling to me. But then something was put in my blood, some kind of herbs, and it pinched me so hard I just like fully woke up. So whoever did that.
I was imagining him like squirting like a healing salve on you, like mustard on a hot dog. For some reason.
I'm not quite sure what that was, but it worked.
It stung so good. It stung so good that my eyes just opened. It was you, Belric. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. I didn't know you had healing prowess, but that was a miracle. You're a miracle worker.
I'll try to replicate that. I'm not quite sure what it was though.
I find a lot of Belric's cures probably have like a little bit of like liquor mixed into it, or some type of alcohol. Like it's like herbs with a bit of booze. Like,
yeah, there was something special in that one.
Speaking of, Mockery actually adjusted to it.
I believe we should celebrate with a drink, a toast, to the gavel of Eva Sarah. Deserters twice.
And Mockery laugh.
I would definitely cheers. I have some beer in my my knapsack, and in terms of like where we would go next, I would leave it to Assyria. I would like there's a map, and there's green, and there's red, and I would leave it up to her to analyze where the hell we go, because I can't make sense of it.
Yeah, I'm imagining the red ones are the ones that have already been
Yeah,
attacked
six
and lost
red
their
ones have already
villages.
been hit. And you kind of
So-
see, looking at the map, like it's, what's a haphazard, but it's not. It looks like they're trying not to follow a pattern. There may be a pattern there still, but it looks like the attacks are trying not to. Like they'll dart over from this side of the northern edge, to the other side, to the middle, and all that. And the red dots too have numbers as well, so you can see who was first hit, who was last hit. Yep. Wisteria, would she try to look for a pattern? amongst them?
Yeah, absolutely. What skill should I roll here?
That's a good question. Let me see.
Mathematics.
Your choice of either perception, or society on that side.
I'll throw down society.
Can Mockery provide the assist action?
Yeah, sure. Mockery, how are you assisting?
Probably through diplomacy here. Just sticking with Viseria, offering what's it called? Just trying to be helpful. Just trying to give. Shoot, I genuinely forget the word. Thank you.
Encouragement is the word? Okay.
Thank you. Yes, trying to give encouragement. Trying to keep the mood light, happy, and keep her focused.
And that fits because I feel like a lot of the probably Jeet reads Wisteria stuff, but probably not like joyfully. I feel like Mockery is the only one that actually like chooses, like not out of obligation, to read like the stuff that Wisteria produces. So yeah, so you're over giving encouragement, trying to help out, trying to find different pieces. So give me a diplomacy check, and then Wisteria, give me a your choice of society or perception to see if that you can.
Before I really try to narrow down what pattern I can find, I'm just going to spend some time examining it and make this one of my leads for investigation.
For sure.
Did it? Okay. So just trying to discover who or what is causing this disappearance, and then go ahead and make that roll.
Oh, I forgot to do that. Let me do that.
So you can tell me if I'm wrong, but did you say something about me getting 2 hero points a session for the note taker? Or
Yeah,
was
you
that
get your note taker, yeah.
two per session?
Yeah, per session.
Okay. So I'll use that second one here.
And you get to add a +1 due to Mockery's diplomacy too.
Right.
Don't forget the +2 to the diplomacy, just in case that changes anything.
It doesn't crit, but yeah.
Nice.
This one, yeah, shit. Yeah, Wisteria, you look through this and kind of see, it looks like it's trying to be random, and I guess they probably have like some, like cipher code or some formula they're utilizing to attack these villages to make it look like it's pure chaos, pure randomness. But you do see kind of the hint, or because when you're trying to be random, unless you're just a crazy person, there's always some pattern that you're following. You find the pattern that they're following, because they're not crazy. This is methodical. It's just trying to appear chaotic. And you find that they're targeting a village. Let me move back to the main map so I can ping it for you guys. But they are targeting a village not too far from the Pyramid of Thana, right along the coast there. It's a village of Atavia. And you see it kind of along there as well. And you guess, you're pretty confident, like within a margin of error, this will be their next attack. And this is about a 2-day journey from where you guys currently are. But you guys can kind of hoof it out there and make it there before you kind of suspect an attack will fall.
Nice. That's clutch.
Sweet.
All right, sweet. So you guys are able to do that. You're able to get long rested as well. Treat wounds, all of that is in there too. Oh, I was hoping we'd get to this thing. So, unfortunately, we are going to wrap our session here. Next session, there's some fun stuff at this village, I'll say. But time got away from us. Actually, with that too, though, with this long rest, you guys are actually able to some of you came very near death. Some of you just got a little banged and battered. But you guys are able to kind of like hone and practice your craft a little bit more too. So you guys are able to advance to level 3. As well.
Hey.
Yo!
Amazing.
With that too, so as I mentioned I think I mentioned this before on stream as well. The first 2 levels I wanted to go through the first 4 sessions to kind of get into a lot of us play level 1 and 2 pretty often, so I wanted to get into the level 3 with some of the cooler stuff on that side. With this, we're going to probably follow the typical Pathfinder guidelines, every 4 to 5-ish sessions advancing a level. So we'll slow down here a bit, but you guys are able to advance to level 3, get some cool stuff on that side. And we're going to pick up next session with you guys reaching the village of Atavia and kind of seeing what's going on there as well, which should be a pretty cool session. So definitely, viewers, make sure to tune in. This one will be posted this Sunday, the 24th or 25th, and the next one will be March 3rd. So definitely come through for both of those. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.